Hey, welcome back, friends. If you want to join the friends, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. So today I'm going to be talking about the Anima Islands. This is a very underused minigame. I think it's absolutely insane the rewards it gives, but I don't ever see anybody doing this. It may be that you just have to do it for like 6 or 7 hours and you get all of the rewards and then nobody ever comes back to it, but I'd imagine more people would be here just to make sure you get all the rewards. First off, how do you get here? You need to be on the back of Tuska. First way of getting to back of Tuska is to use the shortcuts here from the desert, and it gets you directly to the back of Tuska. The other way is to actually come from raids. If you don't already know, you can teleport through the grouping system and just come out of this portal and get directly here. Next up is, why are we actually doing this? I said that there's really good rewards. Basically, there's a couple of rewards that are just cosmetics, a couple of animations, couple of weapon overrides, but the really insane ones are the abilities and the armor. The abilities are going to be Sacrifice, Devotion, and Tuska's Wrath. Those are the 3 abilities that I think are definitely worth getting. I don't see many people using Transfigure, but these 3 abilities should be on your ability bars at all times. Sacrifice and Tuska's Wrath are 2 basic abilities, which should be part of your revolution bar. If you're not using them in your revolution bar, you are doing something wrong. And if you are doing Slayer, Tuska's Wrath is absolutely insane. If you're doing higher level bossing, Devotion ability is basically invaluable. It gives you a 100% chance of, or gives you 100% DPS decrease on you. Basically, it makes you immune from any damage that you are using a protection prayer on. Extremely good with things like Araxor or Telos or any other higher level boss. I was actually really surprised when I figured out this wasn't a basic ability. It has to be unlocked. But very good ability. The second reason why we're going to be doing this is going to be for the Tuska War Priest. This does give you up to a 6% chance of critting, or 6% additional chance of critting. It is the equivalent of Biting 3 perk. That is insane. You have to disassemble a noxious weapon to get Biting 3. So getting this from a armor set, very good. Only downside is that it is a hybrid set, so you're not going to be wanting to use hybrid sets too often. But if you are also using the Anima Sliske, this is one of the effects that you can choose to use. So keep that in mind, that Anima Sliske is actually going to be better if you have the Tuska set completely unlocked. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into how this game works. Okay, so we're just getting to the first island here. The islands can come in any order. There are 4 different sets of islands. Each of them you do for 5 minutes apiece, making this a 20-minute long mini game. So make sure you have a little bit of time to invest before actually getting into this game. Now, this first island I'm going to talk about is just going to be the Runestone Islands, basically. All you do is you run around in a circle. You need to climb the cliff on this one. You need to chip off a gate stone on this one. And basically just run around in a circle to get to the active runestone. I do want to mention that if you have multiple people in this minigame, that it is slightly faster to collect the anima. But you can get the full 25% of the anima from this island extremely easily. Basically, you just take up the percentage of anima that you have through all these islands. You can get up to 25% from each island, meaning that you can get 1,000 reward tokens or reward points per 20 minutes. Meaning you get 3,000 reward points per 20 minute or per hour. This one is actually a little bit faster than the rest of them, so this is the one that you're hoping to get last, because if you have any percentage under the 25% that you get from the last set of islands, you can actually make them up at the next time. So basically the way it works is during the first island you can get up to 25%, the second island you can get up to the 50% mark. So if you get a really easy island on the last one, you could potentially even get the full 100% just in the last 5 minutes. That is extremely hard to do. You need the right island. I don't remember which one is really good. But if you do miss out on the 25%, keep going. You can actually make it up on the next island. Don't worry about it. But as you can see here, you just basically run around in a circle with this island and just siphon off the rune stones whenever they become active. So let's go ahead and send it over to the second set of islands. Okay, so we're coming in with the second island here. It is going to be the tree island. What you want to do is chop down vines and kill tentacles at this island. The tentacles obviously are going to be dealing combat damage to you, so make sure you're bringing combat equipment with you. But basically you're going to want to avoid doing the tentacles. They're just going to cause you damage, and it's probably not worth actually doing the tentacles just because otherwise you're going to have to bring some food with you, and that's a money sink. And what you could do instead is just chop down some vines, and every single time you chop down a vine you get a mysterious herb. Now, the mysterious herbs are going to be gotten from anything that you're doing in this mini game, essentially. If you're killing the tentacles or just going for the vines. So I would just recommend just doing the vines. It's a lot simpler. Next thing you do is you crush down the mysterious herbs, and you want to nurture the roots. Depending on how many people are actually in the game, so since I'm playing solo, I only have one person in the game, that's the number of times you have to nurture the roots. So basically it's a kind of joint game where you're going to want to help each other out, and then once you make it to one of these pods, you collect the seed from it and then take it back to the center for a pretty large chunk of anima. In all, what you want to do is basically chop as many vines as you can, nurture as many roots as you can, and the main thing that you want to be doing is collecting these seeds. So if you see a seed pod like this that is extremely close to the tree, you're going to want to nurture those roots over top of a longer chain of roots. Like, I think there's one like over on the edge of the island at some point I saw. You don't want to go for the edge ones, you want to go for the ones that are extremely close to the tree. Every single time you do get a energy plant completed, it will give you another set of roots. So you can basically go infinite with one chain if it's working out a little bit better, or you can just continuously jump around, go to whichever root is going to need the least amount of mysterious herbs to actually get to the energy plant pod. All in all, extremely easy minigame. You can actually get quite a bit of anima from this one. As you can see, I'm already at 40% and we're just barely hitting the halfway mark. You can get a little bit of makeup on this island, so make sure you are going full out on this island. Okay, so we are coming into the third island here, and this is basically construction island. There's a lot of different ways that you can like redirect electricity into this unstable core here, but realistically we're just going to be building shattered pylons. We don't care about anything else at this level. First off, the shattered pylons do give you construction experience, which is probably the best type of experience that you can get in this mini game. So all we do is just build these shattered pylons, and eventually this pylon will kind of crumble and you can just continuously go around in a circle building pylons. There are two other things that you can do in this minigame if you are interested. First off, you can attack the lightning bolt, and then it will basically discharge a lot of electricity. I probably should actually show you. As soon as I'm done with this pylon, I'll show you. You can attack it, and when it does die, everybody in the area actually gets lightning powers or whatever. So there you go. You see that it transfer some electricity to me, and then you just channel it into the middle. The other thing you can do is actually hunter related. All you do is divert the lightning on these targets. You do get a little bit of hunter experience from this, so I personally don't think the hunter experience is really worth it. You get like 800, or I think it's 400, and I have bonus experience in it. Yeah, 400 hunter experience every single time you do that, and realistically it's gonna give you a little bit faster anima, but probably not actually worth doing unless if it happens to be on your pathway. Like, you don't want to run all the way to the other side to divert a lightning. If it happens to be right next to where you're about to run anyway, might as well do it. But besides that, just run around in a circle building these shattered pylons, and you should be able to get more than enough anima to actually finish off the 25%. Again, this is a really good one to get last because this is the easiest one to get 25% on. I'm already at 20% halfway through, so you can get like 40% on this one. Very good, very fast, just run around, build things. Last but not least is, I'm going to call this the Burning Island. First thing you're going to want to do is take the holy fire, and you want to just burn the tentacles. It doesn't really matter how many tentacles you're hitting or anything like that. You just want to burn whatever one is closest to you. It's going to be relatively hard to get to the 100% anima for me this round, just because this is probably the slowest method of getting anima. This island just happens to be the worst one to get anima, and I got unlucky and got it on my the last island, so that means that there's no other island that I can do to make up for the potential of not getting 100%. If you are burning the tentacles, you will get the full 25%. It just happens in the last couple of seconds of this island. You have to pay decently close attention and make sure as soon as that 30% mark is, or the 30 seconds of holding this flame is done, you are going to want to instantly run back over to the holy fire and make sure to relight it. I personally am probably not going to hit the 1,000 anima because I want to show you the other two methods that you can potentially do to actually get anima on this island. The first one is going to be the altar. All you do is go to the altar, you collect a relic of life. You will then go into the underworld. In the underworld, there are two different ways of gathering. First thing you could do is just go get the red, I think it's called the Lost Soul or something like that. Go back into the overworld and then offer that soul to the altar. Unfortunately, this does cause a glitch in the game, which you actually have to reset the game. You have to completely disconnect the game to get rid of this little tint. So I personally don't want to do this just because the tinting of it is really annoying and it never goes away no matter what. Anytime you go back to the overworld, the red tinting does not go away until you basically log out of the game, log back in. You have to completely restart your client. It's kind of ridiculous. But this is actually a relatively good way of getting anima. It's probably a little bit faster than the tentacles, but it's going to be a little bit more click intensive. As you can see, I have to be hopping in and out of this world. And I am going to do one more, and then I'm going to show you those tormented souls, how you use the tormented souls up on the top. So basically, probably the fastest way of going to the underworld instead of going back and forth over and over again is going to be collecting a lost soul, going up here to the rock face, and then you're going to want to kill one of these tormented souls. Again, you are going to be using combat. If you have friends, this makes this a lot easier because basically your friends can help you kill these tormented souls. So it makes it a little bit faster to actually get to this point. And then you are going to become one of the tormented souls, and then you just basically go and do your last rites or whatever, and you will get 3% anima from that. And then you run down here, offer your lost soul onto the altar, and then restart that process. That's probably the fastest way of doing it if you have friends doing it with you. Otherwise, just burn the tentacles. It's a lot easier, and you don't have to worry about potentially not getting enough anima. I think I might hit only 99% with this run. As you can see, this is a relatively easy minigame. You do get a little bit of token experience while you're doing it, but the main reason why you're going to want to be doing this is for the Tuska pieces and the abilities. If you're interested in any of the cosmetics, they are relatively cheap, so it only takes like 20 to 30 minutes to get all of these cosmetics. That's entirely up to you, though. If you are looking just for the Tuska and the abilities, it does cost you 24,000 reward points, which is going to be 8 hours of doing this minigame. Basically, the Sacrifice and Devotion ability both take an hour apiece. Tuska's Wrath is going to take you 4 attempts, so it's an hour 20 minutes. And then the Tuska set is going to be 13,000, so that's going to take you just over 4 hours, all equaling out to 24,000 reward points, or 8 hours if you need to unlock all of these. Definitely worth doing, though. Just with all the insane abilities and the really good armor set effect, I would personally definitely recommend doing these. If you guys all enjoy this video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. I'd love it if you leave a like and a comment as well. As always, though, have a good one.